Hello again.
Hello,
I'm Jake,
and it's Alex.
and happy Star Wars Day, everybody.
Ooh.
This is a very interesting reaction we're going to do. It's probably considered by many to be way fucking behind the times, but that's kind of how reaction channels roll, at least mine does. And it's 2025, and 10 years ago, hype started because we were awaiting, at the time, the return of the official Star Wars franchise.
Yes, yeah.
With The Force Awakens, which I think you enjoyed.
I did enjoy. Oh, yeah. That movie, at least, yeah.
There were some parts I liked. I feel like, in general, the new trilogy just kind of failed as a whole.
It fizzled.
But the hype for The Force Awakens,
yes.
I just remember it was unlike anything you had seen for a while.
Right.
And one of the people that capitalized on that hype was still very popular YouTuber Jon Jafari, aka JonTron, whose content varies over the years from video games to movies to infomercials and now whatever the hell he can get his hands on. And to celebrate the upcoming episode 7, he did this exclusive little series on his channel called JonTron's StarCade, where he had 9 episodes, each one covering a different Star Wars game, ultimately ending with the infamous Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oof.
All leading up to the Christmas release of Force Awakens.
Okay.
And I'm not sure we're going to cover all 9 episodes this year, at least 2. And I thought it'd be fun to go back to the very first StarCade episode from 2015. And the subject of this episode is the Star Wars Atari games.
Ooh, that's a classic.
You played much Star Wars games?
Not that, but really more of that classic 80s style video games. I had a little Atari experience, more Texas Instruments, but yeah.
I've played a little Atari. I'm not much of a gamer, as I've said many times, to some people's annoyance, but I do enjoy good game review, and JonTron, he can be a fun guy, and he's got amazing production value.
Yep. I wonder what the production video of the actual game was. Is it more E.T. style, or?
It's not that bad. But without further ado, this is JonTron covering all the major Star Wars Atari games from 10 years ago. Oh, nice set.
Shut up back there. I said shut up. You're just pissed off because I outsmarted you and got you flying saucer. And maybe next time you'll think for a second before you pick up someone saying they need to get to the nearest hospital as fast as they can. Chumps. All right. Now just to take this thing for a spin.
He's got pretty good hair.
Yeah. A sci-fi scare. Maybe I'll end up on the next episode of Ancient Aliens. Oh my God! It's Star Wars? Oh, come on, this thing's good for nothing. Whatever, let's get out of here already.
Well, that was a letdown for him.
No, that's it.
Incoming message for Captain Solo from Supreme Commander Vader.
Oh, jeez. Oh, it's been a tight squeeze in it.
This call is brought to you by Empire Galactic. Would you like to accept or die?
Yeah, accept.
Thank you, and please enjoy surviving another day, Rebel Scum.
Well met, Commander Tron.
Well, that's not my real name, but you don't look like that kind of guy. Who cares?
I must commend you for your valiant efforts against the rebellion. The Empire is most impressed. You managed to capture two of the most infamous of rebel scum in the galaxy.
You mean these two guys? The shaggy-looking guy and the walking carpet? I just picked them up because I have no paper trail.
Say no more. Now it is your time to truly prove your worth to the Empire.
Now you listen here. I will never, as long as I live, join the Empire. Also, who is that? You're just my dad trying to scare me again. Dressing up because of teach me a lesson?
What?
Because I didn't mean to make up, Mom.
Very well. Let's see if this persuades you.
That's not my throat.
Your will is strong, I'll give you that. But I have one last thing I'm certain will pique your interest.
John, save me. We have your bird friend, Doc Dog.
What? How'd you get Chuck?
I have my ways. Now, to show I mean business.
Toy.
Oh no. He's just a boy. Oh no. Oh.
That was only a taste of what's to come unless you comply to my demands.
All right, fine. I'll do it. What do you want me to do?
You are to play every Star Wars video game for me. Even the poopy ones.
Not the poopy ones.
I need footage for my upcoming Let's Play channel. I plan on calling
Because
it
of course,
Star
he needs a
Wars
Let's Play channel.
Yeah.
Green Day 1992.
Seriously? That's what you're gonna call it? You'd be better off calling it something stupid like StarCade.
Nice retro animation.
Yeah.
So many Star Wars games spanning so many decades. Where does one even begin? Especially when he doesn't even have any of them. Yo, Vader, if you want me to do this, you gotta give me the
Of
games.
course, a slight oversight.
Never realized just how New Yorky his accent is. This is fun.
Like, ow, what the hell? Seriously? Come on, man, don't you have better way to do this? Give me your Empire budget.
I guess
That's a good one.
I guess gravity exists in this version of space. Controller and all.
Thank you. This game is a port of the 1983 arcade game of the same name that used the now outdated vector style graphics, which we'll get to later. And wow, look at this box. If you were a kid in 1983, chances are you would have thought this was pretty cool. You were probably like this guy right here.
This is a classic commercial.
Yes.
Use the force. Died the way he lived. Like a goddamn psychopath. With an advertisement like that, you know you're getting into something good. Let's go to the moon, baby! Or space. Which way is this going? Now, I don't want to be overly critical, but I can't help but feel there may have been a slight exaggeration made in that commercial. Alright, man, come on. We get it. Calm down. Maybe the sequel will fare better. They also made Empire Strikes Back on Atari, but weirdly enough, this one came out before the first one. I don't get it either.
Chronologically
That's
confused.
nice. You get the real music in the game. Not all tie-ins gave you that.
Love
back in
it.
the day, so believe it or not, that's actually a bonus. I'm not so sure what's going on the bottom of the screen, though. Is that a horizontal radar of someone constantly firing a bullet? And speaking of understanding, I don't really understand where I am in space or time. Is that the mountains, or are we under sea? If
Doesn't
those
matter.
are mountains, what would that make be? Subterranean
ice.
mountains? Atari games are hilarious. They just merely hint at what is actually supposed to be going on. You could have called this game Bird vs. Camel, and no one would have argued with
I could see that.
Believe me, look, you'd have bought this, wouldn't you? Here over this box art. To complete the trilogy, there's Return of the Jedi, Death Star battle. It's a good thing they went with the Death Star, not some Ewoks. Yeah, that would have been weird. Ah, yes. I remember this classic Star Wars situation. Now we know why Han Solo was late to help Luke in the Death Star battle. He first had to cut a hole through a large David Bowie's album art before he could get there. You fly around as the adorable Millennium Falcon like you're playing asteroids, and you're supposed to, I guess, go through this.
Does
air,
sound like
get to the Death
asteroids.
Star so you can destroy it. sounding so much like my dad's office. Who left the fax machine on again? Wow. I mean, this looks hard in movies. In this version, they decided to make the Death Star out of styrofoam. Oh, can we play that back in reverse? I think I might have heard the voice of Satan in there.
This is was rough, not like you.
Oh.
Okay, I guess we're just gonna pretend nothing happened then. Business as usual. This game just keeps looping forever once you beat the Death Star.
That's how Atari rolled, bitch.
Star Wars Groundhog Day in here. Yikes! Moving on. How about this one? Star Wars Jedi Arena, where Luke doesn't look like he gives a shit at all. Okay, what's been going on in here? Hey,
I don't get it.
We could just, slow down.
The training.
Stop, please. Okay, that's enough. Come on, stop. Okay, let's just move on to the last game we have here today, which is Return of the Jedi Ewok Adventure.
Oh.
I don't have it here to show to you. In fact, few, if any, do. It was intended to be the twin sister game of Return of the Jedi Death Star Battle, but it was never released, even though it was fully completed. Yeah, that's a good sign. It disappeared without a trace for 14 years until being found by a collector in 1997. For fear of a lawsuit, it was never released to the public. But lucky for us, in 2001, a prototype copy was finally secured. Although, only one of these
Fascinating.
exist. What could have caused them to cancel a perfectly good game? Let's find out. Console, please recreate Ewok Adventure and make it snappy. Recreating is I'm not sure what kind of ship you're flying in this game, but I already like it better than the other games.
I think it's a
Seems to
speeder.
be some kind of speeder that flies close to the ground. It has weight, and it's really cool as far as the Atari goes. Ew! Look at the ATSTs! Oh my god! I'm gonna have nightmares now. Let's give you an artist's rendition of what the HD version would look like.
Now it's feeling like E.T.
That's about how I feel. That was trippy as hell. Do I still have my brain intact after that? Okay, here we go.
It'll probably glitch out.
Crashed my shit.
What the fuck?
What an adventure. An Ewok adventure. What? You just gonna get right back in another ship and take off? Also, where are you getting this? Who does that belong to? That is not your ship. Believe it or not, I think this is actually the best game out of them all, and it's the only one they didn't release.
No, I think the second one.
They did it all to themselves. Who could blame them? Oh boy, and that's only a tiny fraction of what we got to cover. So stick around and tune in next time to find out the mystery of who it was who allegedly let those dogs out after all. It was me. I'm trying to sleep. All right.
Weird note to go out on, but it's a fun, I feel, compilation of all the Atari games. Headphones.
Definitely a weird ending.
So, what'd you think of that 10-minute episode?
It was interesting to bring back all those classics, the Atari spin of it. That was a good angle.
He jammed a lot in there.
Yeah, he did.
And not every joke landed, but he had some pretty good zings as well.
Yeah.
And once again, he has impressive set design.
Yes. Did he put that together all himself, or
I think he
must
has
have hired somebody?
He's got a whole crew that works for him.
Yeah.
He's got a staff, got camera people. I think he sometimes has directors.
Mm-hmm.
He's very professional. And like you see his other reviews in the past 10 years, he goes all out. They've got like full scale sets. He's got actors.
It'd take like 6 months to put together.
Well, that's also kind of why he only puts out maybe 3 or 4 videos a year.
Yeah.
Like he did the flex tape one.
Yeah.
The opening bit with Darth Vader, pretty good costume that whoever that was had. And it's funny seeing him crush that bird. I wonder if Jock is still alive.
I don't know.
How long do parakeets live?
Not long, I don't think, right?
So maybe not.
Probably under a decade.
I loved how he showed the classic commercial with that Psycho.
Yes, I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, just the game may be underwhelming, but that commercial is one of the best of its kind.
The 80s hit different.
The Empire game, agree, that does look kind of appealing, has the music.
Yeah. I think I don't know, I think it might be one of the better ones. I agree. The second one, and then he liked the last one. That one probably, again, I don't see why they pulled it, but...
Kind of fascinating, but hey, if it was made, it's bound to pop up some eventually.
Yeah.
The third one with the Death Star, I agree, it kind of looks boring.
That one was just terrible.
And then, yeah, it just loops, which was a thing Atari games had. Once you hit the high score, you just start over again.
And that first one was just like Tron, basically.
I could see why it would be an arcade game.
Yes.
Also, all of that, I think one of the funnier visual bits is when he's like, push, push,
Yeah.
push.
And I like the Darth Vader angle of it at the beginning. He was believable.
But yeah, this was the first of a 9-episode series he did to build on the hype for the return of Star Wars, and it returned. Whether or not it really did any good is debatable, and you know, we've got like 24 shows on Disney Plus.
Yes. Now the market is saturated.
Make of it what you will. I love the classic Star Wars, the
Yes.
original trilogy. It's always going to have a special place in my heart, and it did change how things were.
Mm-hmm.
The prequels, they're fascinating. I'll give them
It's
that.
got good moments, explain some backstory, but overall, yes.
George Lucas, great ideas, but he needed a few extra hands in there.
Or a little less CGI.
Hope we have a nice Star Wars day, and we will see you again
May the 4th be with you.
hopefully soon, and yep, may it be with you.
Enjoy.